In our Day 1 Allen Heath recap video from South by Southwest 2022 in sunny Austin, Texas, we fail to follow directions. A rubber ducky assists at front of house. I failed to put on a show wristband properly.
And I only ended up pulling out, about 25 arm hairs this time.
And we see lots of Allen Heath from across Austin. Let's check in first with the KUTX 98.9 FM, KUT 90.5 FM audio team to see how they've been putting Zed, GLD, SQ, and Avantis to work in a storied venue, which happens to be situated completely within Austin city limits.
I'm Renee Chavez, and I'm a production engineer for KUTX.
I'm Jake Perlman. I'm also a production engineer for KUTX.
We are at Studio 6A at the Moody College of Communications, so the historic 6A, former ACL Live. Yeah, the SQ is part of the house package, and it's tied into the Dante network, and it's the mixer that sends and receives audio for streaming. So that's in the stream world. And then what we have here is the Avantis is driving a copy of the front of house channels, and Jake is mixing. So he's mixing full performance here, and those are all channels grabbed from the Dante network. And then I'm grabbing the left-right output of this guy in the GLD 80. That then hits our codecs and goes over to the radio station, and from there goes up to broadcast.
I've used Allen Heath products for the last 20 years or so, off and on. I picked up the Avantis in probably a couple of hours. It did not take long to figure out where everything was. I found being able to have all the processing choices on each channel to be, since we only have about a half hour setup and then a half hour set for this particular show, I don't have a whole lot of time to really dial stuff in before we're rolling. So it made it real easy to be able to pull up all those different choices.
Cool. And I noticed on the screen now we've got a nice deep plug-in happens to be up on the screen. Are there any particular plugins and things that you happen to lean to?
That's a great, I'm using that on our broadcast master bus, and then also on the streaming bus, which I'm hitting a little bit harder so that YouTube doesn't screw it up for me. Screw it up on my own. And then the tube preamp emulation, that's been a lot of fun too to play with. Usually it's not something that we would have at our fingertips when we're working. So
cool.
We've got this today and Saturday, so live from the broadcasting in 6A today and Saturday. Tomorrow we'll be at Luck Reunions over at Willie's Ranch. There's a festival going on there, so we'll be doing a little pop-up for artists to come by, say hi, take photos, and little performance. And then Friday we're at the Hub, so we're at the South by Convention Center at the Day Stage, where I guess a lot of radio stations do live broadcasting in blocks.
Yeah, so we'll be, it's a public radio day stage, so there's 5 bands. And we basically do the same thing that we're doing here. The fun part is the broadcast mix is in the room. So you hear the kick drum in your ear, and then 100 milliseconds later you feel it in your chest. So that's dizzying. And then Saturday we're back here again.
And in the convention center, instead of GLD, we'll be in a classic Zed.
Wow.
Z12, I think.
The Zed will be the submixer for that, yeah.
So bring in the big guns.
Yes, exactly. when you've got, money's no object and size is no object, grab a Zed.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Put some maroon in your tunes.
I'm going to steal that one.
First one's free.
That one's free.
Have fun at South by.
Have fun at South by.
We'll hear and see a bit more of what Renee and Jake have going on at Studio 6A and their tips for aspiring audio engineers in tomorrow's South by Southwest video. But let's wrap up day 1 with a few quick highlights from the British Music Embassy stage at the Cedar Creek Courtyard, packed to the rafters with loads of Allen Heath.
So I'm Jez from audio specialist from Subfrantic. I'm running front of house here at the BME stage at South by Southwest. Absolutely loving running the D Live at front of house this year. So easy to use, the surface is so accessible. Straight out the box, yeah, just having a great time all around.
Cool. What's your favorite plug-in running on the D Live?
Plugins we're using probably the multiband compressor. We can get onto the groups and especially on vocals at the moment because we're having a little bit of not trouble but issues with the PA. So yeah, so probably the multiband compressor.
Super cool. And how long have you been using D Live?
So I've been using D Live not very long, probably since Christmas. Used QU and SQ before that. Yeah, so the step up to D Live was obviously natural progression and made sense all around really.
Super awesome. What's the band you're looking most forward to mixing?
I don't know really. So we've had a few in already. Especially Red Rum Club. I know we've got Walt Disco Club in Walt Disco in today as well. So they were great. They've been great so far. So Walt Disco probably.
Super awesome. And is this your first cowboy hat?
It's my first cowboy hat. Couldn't come to Texas without buying one.
Cool. Well, I've got the boots, so we should put our
amazing. We'll put the
my boots in your hat. We'll be set.
Yes, Texas, here we come.
Cool. Thanks, Ned.
You're welcome.
Thanks for tuning in to this Day 1 recap from South by Southwest 2022. See you back tomorrow as we dig deeper into a number of venues across Austin and chat with the engineers who are making the magic happen.